Standard Chartered is a multinational financial company with a global presence in more than 70 countries. Joining me now to talk to Dukascopy TV is Mike Moran. He's a Senior Currency Strategist at Standard Chartered and is based in New York. Hi Mike, let's start with the dollar-yen, shall we? I understand you're expecting this pair to trade in a fairly tight range during the next 3 months and move slightly lower in 12 months' time.
That's right. Dollar yen typically trades very much as a risk-averse currency pair, meaning good news typically has led to yen weakness, whereas negative news, especially about global growth, about the general risk appetite in the markets, has strengthened the yen as it's still considered a safe haven recipient during volatile times. So given our outlook for the next 12 months, where global growth has appeared to be more sluggish, we expect the yen to remain fairly strong against the dollar, certainly in terms of the recent trading range for the previous year.
What about the euro-dollar? It's likely the Eurozone debt crisis is going to continue to weigh on risk appetite. So if the mood continues on the way it is at the moment, what kind of levels could we see looking forward?
We've received some, I think, more positive news from European policymakers regarding an expansion of the ESSF, which I think has buoyed sentiment to a degree. I think we're seeing some short covering in the euro positions built up the last couple of weeks. However, whether this really A, comes to fruition, B, what the details and how big the ESSF might become are two issues that are yet to be resolved. Clearly, the macro fundamentals in Europe, particularly Southern Europe, the periphery economies, are still very dire. We're looking at recession pretty much across the southern economies over the next 6 to 12 months. So from that perspective, we still expect the euro to be way down, to underperform the dollar, as we expect from these concerns about the eurozone debt not to go away. It may improve in the short term, but ultimately, I think the eurozone will benefit from a weaker euro in order to stimulate exports and growth.
And finally, the pound dollar. Looking over the next year, what are your short, mid and long-term forecasts? As it appears that you're expecting a fair amount of movement for this pair when we look at, say, 3 to 12 months' time.
We expect sterling to underperform in the majors. The economy is still very weak. Growth has really stalled over the past couple of months, and I think what is key here is the policy signals from the Bank of England, which have certainly become more dovish. I think we're looking at the possibility that the Bank of England could introduce another round of quantitative easing. That will be another strong negative for sterling, and really, against the backdrop of even against a weaker euro, possibly a stronger dollar more broadly, given the much shakier risk appetite for the next 3 to 6 months. I think sterling starts to look a little overvalued at these levels, and we think it will be another underperformer, certainly on that 3 to 6 month time frame.
Thank you very much for that, Mike. Now, there'll be plenty of financial interviews this week to keep you updated on market news, including a Targets and Focus tomorrow with Westpac. Goodbye for now.